Yo, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing? You know who this is, the real one. Always 100, Gabriel Skywalker from Skywalker DFS, aka the DFS Club, coming to you with the NBA main slate video. Undefeated, guys. That's all I gotta say is undefeated. More winnings for the haters. Here you go, guys. So this is what we did today, as we do our annual review of how we did. So cash games, easy double up, way too easy. And also, we hit on a couple of GPPs. Now, before I show you the GPPs, I just wanted to let you know. So I've dropped 10 Draftkings GPPs this season so far in the chat. 7 out of 10 have cashed. 70% of GPPs have cashed. 7 out of 10. So I'm pretty proud of that. Let me show you today's winnings. All right, so this was one of the lineups, got a 275. So obviously today's scoring was a lot lower than yesterday's scoring. Pat Beverly pretty much didn't perform the way he was supposed to perform. Spellman came through at the very end and got me into cash at 0.59% owned. Um, I kind of knew it was going to be a blowout, so I knew he'd get a little run there. Bambury didn't live up. Montrizzle, my Hizzle, my Nizzle didn't live up. But hey, we still cashed. But there's one more, guys. So here's the other one. The Tony Snell lineup is what I called it because I only used him in one lineup. So here it is, guys. Cashed. I believe this was also my cash lineup that I dropped. So I always put my cash lineup in one GPP just to see what happens. And it worked out great. But that's it, guys. That's it for today's winnings. Another winning day at the DFS Club. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here it is, you guys. Feast your eyes. www.dfsclub.com. Daily fantasy sports powerhouse, man. I'm talking about three providers in one. Not just one provider, you get three. I'm talking about DFS Space. I'm talking about the DFS Whispers. I'm talking about myself, Skywalker DFS. Man, we're close to reaching 400 members. I think we're one day away, and we'll get there. We've only been doing this since August 1st, guys. So having 400 members is amazing. But there's a reason for it. It's because every other provider gives you one sport, one package for one season. We say, screw all that. Let's give them every single sport for one price for a month, 6 months, a year. Um, so yeah, we give you NBA, NFL, MLB, PGA, NHL, tennis, NASCAR, soccer, esports, MMA, WNBA, college sports, guys. We are the DFS Club. All you gotta do is click the join now button. All you gotta do is click on my logo here, right in the middle. And here are your plans. So every single plan that you see here includes the all access, includes all this stuff. You get the members only Slack chat where we drop all the lineups. Um, all the family members are in there, guys, sharing their lineups. It's a beautiful thing. 24/7 tips and advice by the DFS Club. Pre-lock Insight, which are the members only podcasts. We cover DraftKings, FanDuel, you name it, Prize Picks, Yahoo. And these are your plans, guys. $25 a month. You can save money and go 6 months. You can save even more and go for a full year, or get a 3-day pass for $7.99. So pick your package, click the Let's Get It, and you are in, guys. You're officially part of the DFS Club. We are the here, the now, the future, and this is why, if you notice, I get negative comments below on my videos and these random thumbs down. All of us do. All three of us do. It's other providers that are upset because they've been screwing everybody for so long, for so many years, and they see the truth right here. So they're making those fake YouTube accounts and trying to throw a wrench in it. You know what I'm saying? So don't believe the hype, y'all. With that said, let's get into the main slate, guys. All right, y'all. So this is officially a 9-game slate. So plenty to choose from. Unlike today, we had 3 games, but it felt like an 11-game slate because of so many stars were out there. So let's get into it. Off the tops, we got AD. The only Lakers I'm playing right now, the only Laker I'm playing, it looks like, is Anthony Davis. I was right about LeBron last video. If you missed it, check it out, guys. It's so weird. I'm normally, if you guys see my videos before, I'm used to having like a camera in there so you can see me as I'm talking. It feels weird, but for some reason, the program I use, Loom, the camera feature ain't working right now. So if anybody knows of any other programs you can run while filming a video, let me know in the comments below. Because yeah, Loom has just been a pain in the ass. So it's kind of weird. So I apologize, guys, if I'm stuttering or whatever. It's just it doesn't feel right. Schroeder's sitting right here next to me, thinking he's on camera, and it's just not there. So yeah. So Anthony Davis, guys, 10K, worth every dime. He got 51 fantasy points last game with 37 minutes against Utah. Now I know Utah's tough, but Anthony Davis is pretty much matchup proof. Y'all know that. Next up, Pascal Siakam Malakam. He did not disappoint last game, man. I don't think he's going to disappoint this game either. Playing Boston, I know Boston plays slow. Toronto plays fast, so we'll see what happens. But as of now, I'm loving Pascal Siakam Malakam, especially at that price, 8-1. If he gets a 67, hell, if he gets 50 or more fantasy points, he demolishes that 8-1 price tag. So get him in there. Next up, last slate surprise player of the slate, Lauri Markkanen. He got 63 fantasy points on 34 minutes. Now, will he do that again? Probably not. Will he do that again this season? Probably not. But at 8K, it's hard to pass him up because if you can get a 40 or more, that crushes it, guys. So Lauri Markkanen's worth a peep. Next up, we got Porzingis at 7-6, still too cheap, man. Way too cheap for this man. We know what he's capable of. He got 35 last game. That's why he's still cheap, but he's one of them players, man. He can get you 40 or 50 fantasy points like every slate. So he's just trying to, I think what his deal is, it was only the first game of the season. He's still trying to find his way. He was off for a year, so trust me, get him in there. Next up, Marcus Morris, man. He's loving his new team. He's loving his new role. He killed it in the preseason. He killed it in the regular season with his 40 fantasy points. His price came up from like 4.5 to 5.2, but I still like that 5.2 price for Marcus Morris, guys. Next up, Kelly Oubre, 5.7. Another player. Now, players that are in this range right here normally get overlooked because they're right in the middle, if that makes sense, of like pricing. Oubre last game had 30 minutes, got 39 fantasy points. Interesting. I'm going to put him on my maybe list. All right. I might be able to find better value and get the same result or better result. Next up, with that said, Torian Prince. Now, I'd probably rather play Prince against Oubre. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on ownership. And this is just a first look, guys. So, Prince last game went out there and got 40 fantasy points, and he played damn near the whole game. He played 41 minutes. Brooklyn is exciting. That first game, man, they're playing so fast. It's crazy. And he's only 5'6". 5'6", and he's getting you 40 fantasy points, getting you 41 minutes. Sign me up, man. Absolutely. This whole Brooklyn team's been exciting after one game, but I'll take it, man. So get him in there. Next up, Luka Doncic. 9-2. Scared me for a minute that first game. It took him a while to score, shall I say. He stood at like 9 or 10 fantasy points for the longest time. I'm like, fuck, he's a bust. Turned the phone off, went and took a shower, got out of the shower, turned the phone back on, and then boom, he's got a flame over his points, and he's back to Luka again. So God bless him. It's hard to fade him at 9-2, guys, especially tomorrow. Next up, Emmanuel Mudiay. I've always liked this guy. He's only 3.5. And last game, he got 22 minutes, 24 fantasy points. You need some salary relief. You can definitely check out Moutier. You just got to see what tomorrow is, what the rotation is going to be. If there's any news, like if how many minutes he's going to get. Just keep an eye out for that. If he's going to come off the bench or is he even going to play. Next up, Kyrie Irving. Now this is interesting. because I was against Kyrie all year, last year. This last game, he got 76 fantasy points on only 38 minutes. Now, here's what I think what's going on. I think I got Kyrie down. He was miserable in Boston. I mean, no offense to Boston fans. I have no hate. Oops, sorry, Schroeder. I have no hate for the Boston Celtics, but I just don't think he was happy there, guys. I don't. Um, I think he's how shall I put this? Ecstatic to be in Brooklyn, guys. 76 fantasy points. He looked like he was out there having fun. He looked like the old Kyrie Irving. Sign me up for 9K. Absolutely. If I was to play either him or Luca, I would play Kyrie tomorrow. But I think I can fit them both in, so it's all good. Next up, Kyle Lowry, another fast team, Toronto. Man, this is weird without the camera on me. I just can't focus. Sorry, guys. This is a horrible, horrible one. 44 minutes last game with 41 fantasy points. It kind of sucks. It took him 44 minutes to get 41 fantasy points, but it is Kyle Lowry. He won't knock your socks off, but that 7K price tag is really good. Last season he was like 8.5, sometimes 9K. If he was that price right now, I would take a hard pass. But at 7K, it's kind of hard to pass on him. Next up, Karis LeVert, man. Well, I tell you all last video, 36 fantasy points, 37 minutes, 36. Yeah, I mean almost a point per minute, pretty damn near close. He's only 6'5", so you can put him in at small forward. So he's small forward, point guard eligible, which is good. Next up, Fat Fred VanVleet, man. He went out there and had himself a game, boy, and he played damn near the whole game. 44 minutes, 56 fantasy points. For Boston, defensively, don't scare me no more, guys. They just play slow. They're kind of boring to watch. No offense. Boston's just boring to watch. Van Vliet's going to eat them alive. All right. So get him in there. He's still off that championship high. So at 5'7", that's a steal. These prices are ridiculous. I think DraftKings having mercy on us this first week. That's all I can say. FanDuel, no, there is no mercy with FanDuel. FanDuel's FanDuel. Next up, I got Dano Gallinari, guys. 7-1. Very, very cheap. 28 minutes last game, 35 fantasy points. Just get him in there and move on. Next up, Brandon Ingram, another one who I didn't think was very happy with the Lakers. He didn't really get his like spotlight. He didn't get his time. Now on this new team, he had 35 minutes, 42 fantasy points. Looked like he was having fun. Never looked like he was having fun with the Lakers. He's only 7-1. I love Brandon Ingram tomorrow. Get him in there. Next up, speak of the devil, Jason Tatum from Boston. I was harsh on Tatum all year last year, but we'll see what he can do because 6'7" is a really good price for him. He was always 8K last year, so he's always overpriced for me. But for 6'7", 37 minutes, 42 fantasy points, get yourself some Jason Tatum tomorrow, guys. Next up, for some value, we got Devion Graham Cracker, 4'6", 27 minutes. Look at this. 27 minutes last game, 43 fantasy points. My God. What more do you want out of a 4'6" player, guys? Get him in there. Next up, I played this man last game, Dwayne Bacon. Fucking Kevin Bacon's long lost love child. 5'7". His price shot up. His price was like in 3K range, I believe. 33 minutes, 37 fantasy points. 5'7's kind of steep, but we'll have to see about that. We'll have to see. I don't know, guys. He's in the player pool. Next up, Donovan Mitchell. Did he have himself a game or what, man? Going up against the Lakers, 36 minutes last game, 55 fantasy points. Donovan Mitchell at 7-7. Get him in there and move on, guys. I know there's a lot of point guards to choose from, a lot of guards, period, but again, you might have to run 2 or 3 lines. All right. Next up, we got the Elfrid Payton, guys. 26 minutes, right? Look at this, 36 fantasy points. I was hard on him last game, but I still rostered him on one of my lineups and ended up paying off. And he's only 4.6, so he might come off the bench and do some damage. We'll see about that. Next up, CP3, 7-2. Are you kidding me? I will take that. 30 minutes last game, 40 fantasy points. CP3 7-2. Sign me up all day, every day. Next up, this goofy looking motherfucker right here, Danny Green. 32 minutes, 46 fantasy points. He's very scoring dependent, so keep that in mind. His threes were falling last game. So if his threes are missing, he's a bust. But he's only 4.6. So if he's a bust at 4.6, who cares? So his upside is just phenomenal. His floor, is a 15. So 4.6, Danny Green's almost a lock for me just for that. And last but not least, we got Jeff Teague. What do you have? 34 minutes last game. His shots were not falling, but he still managed to get 24 fantasy points. Just imagine if his shots are falling. I think this might be the game, guys. At 5.6, Teague's a strong play. Teague always plays against Charlotte. He plays against them well, guys. Yeah, look at that. 37, 35, 47, 34. So for some reason, I don't know what his vendetta is against Charlotte, but he gets out of bed for them, guys. So that's going to do it. So without the camera, I might have to pick a different program to use. Again, guys, you guys know of any other ones, let me know. I gotta have my camera. We gotta do Shorter's picks because he gets excited. Now he's all bummed out. You should see him right now. He's so bummed. But we will do Shorter's picks on the next video, guys. So with that said, let's get you guys a free lineup sponsored by the DFS Club. So here we go. So one of my members did play the free lineup yesterday in a double up, and it cashed. So play them, check them out. They might win, they might not win. Throw in a cash game, see what happens. Gives us Moutier, Graham, Morris, like Morris the Cat, Kelly Oubre, Porzingis, Kyle Lowry, Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic. I will say this to my draft dashboard members, and feel free to please play this yourself. Throw in a double up, throw in $1, see what happens. What do you got to lose? It's free lineup. And that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you guys all cash like we did today at the DFS Club, guys. I really do. Check us out, www.dfsclub.com, guys. The most affordable, we win the most, and we have the most fun. What else is there to have, man? Come check us out. You'll love it. $25 a month, or take the 3-day pass, or just jump right in and get the 6-month or yearly package, guys. It's totally up to you. Shout out to everybody in that community. Love each and every one of you. Shout out to DFS Space. Shout out to the DFS Whispers. Love you guys. You're my brothers. We're going to get up out of here. Schroeder, let's get them out. Like I always say, let's get that bread and don't take shit from nobody. Schroeder and I are out, y'all. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.